This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
All right, great friends, what's going on? It is a Friday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew along with Grande and the Brown Man, and we come to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. And by the way, be on the listen here because in the next couple of days, I'm going to announce to you when we're doing our 7 Mile Casino Great Friends Supper Club. And you're going to have your chance to come on down, hang out. We're all going to sit around one giant table like a familia. We're going to have a great time. And I'm going to give you all the details in all likelihood in the early part of next week. So stay tuned for that. All right, Grande, Brown Man, let me ask you guys both a question here. Was everybody watching the NFL draft yesterday?
No, but I heard every second of it on the radio.
Really?
I didn't expect to hear that, but okay.
Well, actually, I take that back. I'm a liar.
Oh.
I Bluetoothed the broadcast from my phone in my car. So I actually was listening to Greeny, Louis Riddick, and Booger the whole first round because I was in traffic from San Diego to Oxnard for about 6 hours.
Nice. Well, you drove right through like our whole radio and TV worlds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You drove from San Diego through Orange County into LA and then getting up into Ventura County and into the 805. You could have listened the entire way on 1090.
Right.
You know?
But we were on 1090.
Right. And then, by the way, on the Cox Your View network, you got San Diego Channel 4, you got Orange County Channel 118, LA County Channel 118, and then you get into like Santa Barbara area.
Some people,
Channel
Scott,
4.
call it the mega market.
Oh,
heard that.
I drove the entire mega market.
You did indeed.
I listened to what sounded like one of the wildest first rounds of all time. Honestly, it's difficult to keep up, but because I wasn't driving so fast, I was pretty much keeping up.
Yeah.
It's, first of all, I appreciate the teams not waiting 10 or 12 minutes, like for no reason.
Right.
Picks were in, picks were flying, picks were coming in hot.
Let me ask both of you guys a question because it's funny that you said that it was a chaos, like it was high pace. Okay. Do you think that the NFL has learned from the waiting to get rid of the waiting and just start doing the drafting? Because I didn't find it to be that crazy because I was intaking it on the phone as I was watching the NBA playoffs. I didn't find it to be fast or anything out of the ordinary. I just thought that they make the picks quicker.
I would say that because you were probably following it on your phone, you didn't get the full, at least it felt like a lot of drama was happening.
But I think what Browner just said is interesting, though, that the picks were in faster, but things didn't seem to be moving because there's like
they have like 4 hours to fill, right?
Right.
Yeah,
but here's the thing,
product.
right? Like the pick is in. Okay, when the pick is in and they announce the pick, the kid who's sitting backstage has to walk about 1.5 miles just to get to the stage.
Yeah.
So they're following him the entire time. Like they get this.
Do that in San Diego.
One of them got lost. Right.
Yeah, right. One guy, he goes and he turns left and he's walking. They're like, this way.
That way.
Turns around. He runs the whole way.
He was in Old Town Vegas. They needed him on the strip.
Yeah. Gosh, and the crowds in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I gotta say, we've all talked over the last 2 years about would you go to this, would you go to that? We saw football games with no fans, baseball games with empty stadiums. NBA basketball games with virtual fans. We're all coming back to life. People so desperately want to get back out there and do things. And I think in some weird way, be around other people again, because people felt maybe locked down for a long time.
I mean, you might beat them up, but you want to be next to them.
Right. Like I may like to be with you for a few minutes, but if you're wearing Dodger gear and I'm wearing Padre gear, we may need to square off together. Okay. But watching the crowds in Vegas, holy crap, man. Yesterday, we were talking about, wouldn't it be great to have the NFL draft in San Diego? And it would have been great had we built a new stadium and the Chargers stayed. But honestly, if I'm the NFL, I had the draft in New York forever. It was a big deal to have it every year at Madison Square Garden. Dude, I'm happy with having the draft in Vegas every year. I mean, when I say it like that, as a television viewer, it looked really, really
The
cool.
fact that
No, you got to keep moving it. You got to keep moving it because when
And
it
they
was in
will.
Chicago, it was great.
It's in Kansas City next year.
And when it was in Tennessee, I mean, I'm not a big Tennessee fan, but
No,
it
but
looked
Nashville's a party town,
fantastic.
man. Yeah.
I think what's cool about the Vegas though is because everybody just Vegas to the world is a strip of street, right? Of casinos. It's not the actual city of Vegas. And the way the NFL made it seem was like the NFL draft was from tip of the strip to the other tip of the strip. Like they took over all of Vegas. And that's something that they can't do anywhere else.
Right.
And it just had this magnitude. Just listening to it, dude. Like, and on my phone, stuck in traffic, I'm looking, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. It just has this. It's an event town, obviously.
The television product that is the NFL draft is so well done now. I didn't find it. Again, because I was watching it on my phone via like ticker or whatever, so I just didn't get it. But the parts that I did see after all the NBA was gone, it just looks like a very well run, tip top television.
It did drag on towards the end, Scott. I don't know if you stuck around the whole time, but the Vikings traded down all the way to the last pick, so I stuck around all the way to the last pick.
Ooh.
Yeah,
and the picks were in 30 minutes before they even announced them. At that point, they were so far behind production-wise.
Yeah.
That the picks were in on Twitter way before those players.
Which I thought they stopped that, but I guess not.
Not every Schefter stopped that.
Yeah.
Not everybody stopped that.
I didn't stick around for the whole thing, but I will just say this. Browner, maybe you could put up the way the first round went, and I'm going to give you my quick read of it here, and then guys, feel free to just jump in, but here it goes, and you can throw us on the side. Great. If you can't, no biggie. Hey, this Trayvon Walker story, the first overall pick to the Jaguars. This is, Alex, you talk about like where there's fireworks. It starts with the number 1 overall pick, because for the longest of times, everybody was predicting that it was this guy, Aiden Hutchinson, who was the defensive end out of Michigan. He winds up going too. But the thing about Trayvon Walker that's so interesting is there were 5 guys from Georgia, right? 5 defensive players from Georgia. And this kid, Trayvon Walker, not that I like was studying Georgia football at all, he was kind of considered like the 5th of the 5.
Just a dude.
Right. But then he got to the
he was a workout menace.
Warrior.
Dude, he got to the combine. He's like 6'5", 280, runs a 4.5 40.
His arms are 6 foot long each.
Yeah. And so look, it's not that he wasn't a good player at Georgia, and it's not that he wasn't a productive player at Georgia. It's just that, Browner, everything you would say about Joe Burrow, about why Joe Burrow is going to be a bust, because he's playing on this LSU team with this offense, which is the greatest offense in college football history. And he's the guy who's the quarterback, but look at all the NFL talent he's got around him. So of course he had a great year. So that your rationale for why Burrow was going to be a bust could be exactly applied to this kid right here, Trayvon Walker.
What do you think I'm about to say about him?
He gonna be a bust?
Damn right. Damn right he gonna be a bust. This is why when they had so many good players on their defensive line, it's super hard to evaluate one across from the other because they've got so many. Like, yes, it's great for the school for Georgia, University of Georgia, for your own professional career. I think this kid he's gonna be in the NFL for a decade. He will not.
Well, when you're the first round, but you're the number 1 overall, you keep getting chances.
Right. He will not be as good as Bosa or the kid that was number 1 last year. I don't think he'll be better than Aiden Hutchinson, who I'm not even a big fan of.
How about this though? Like, here's who I would, if I were going to think about trying to compare what his career will be, okay, rather than thinking like Trayvon Walker. And by the way, you could also put up here, Browner, let everybody see this, because I didn't really know this necessarily. These 5 Georgia first round defenders. That's
the only one
amazing.
I knew was Jordan Davis, because that's the guy that Browner thinks is 28 years old.
Yeah. That guy is like a Vince Wilfork type of guy.
Yes.
Giant dude.
And he gets to go play next to Fletcher Cox for a year, which is like the best thing for him. But the incredible part about all 5 of these guys, none of them, when you look at their numbers, none of them stand out.
And
None of them.
to
Trayvon
me,
Walker had 6 sacks last season.
to me, that's the problem. And it wasn't like, oh, I was beating this guy to the quarterback. They're too good as a group for me to have taken even one of those guys at number 1. They're just too good.
Well, the thing about Trayvon Walker and Aiden Hutchinson, and we've seen this many times with quarterbacks, they're going to be compared for the rest of their careers.
Yes.
They play the same position, and they got drafted 1 and 2.
Right. It's like Jared Goff and Carson Wentz.
Right.
It's like the exact same thing. But you see, the thing about it is that if let's just say hypothetically, I'm trying to think of a more competent football organization than the Jacksonville Jaguars took this kid number 1.
Patriots.
Pittsburgh.
If Pittsburgh's a better example. If Pittsburgh took him number 1, I'd be like, okay, they know something.
They got the next TJ Watt.
Yeah, they know something about this guy that the rest of us don't know.
Well, I would say
Jacksonville.
I would say this for Trayvon Walker in that regard. I much prefer going to Jacksonville under Doug Peterson than going to Detroit with the cartoon character Dan Campbell.
Yeah. See, not me. Give me, if I'm a defensive player, give me Campbell, because he's a buffoon, but he knows defense.
Does he?
I'll give him that.
He was a tight ends coach.
Huh?
He was a tight ends coach. He was not a defensive guru.
I watched them play twice. They played very hard on defense. They just didn't have any talent. They were prepared. They didn't have any talent. Now, you put this kid in there with a guy like that who will force these dudes to play hard. I like where Hutchinson went far more than I like where Davis went, because I just don't trust Jacksonville. Why would you not give?
Do you mean Walker went to Jacksonville? I just making sure we're on the same page here. Walker went to Jacksonville,
and Hutchinson went to Detroit.
And you're saying Davis, and there's one of the other Georgia defensive linemen. Yeah,
they're all the same to me. That's my whole point.
Well, look,
I can't pick one I can't pick one from the other.
I mean, but listen, based on the numbers alone, this guy Trayvon Walker, I think in his career at Georgia had 11 sacks total. So nobody's going to look at that and go, "Wow, this guy's a machine at getting to the quarterback," the way they may have looked at Bosa or even Hayden Hutchinson. But they look at the way he runs, they look at the way he works out, they look at his performance on the field, they look at the other players that he's playing with, and he looks at the opponents, and somebody makes a decision that of all the guys, this guy has, you ready for this? This guy has the greatest upside potential. He got the greatest upside potential. So that's why somebody takes a guy who many thought coming into the draft process was the 5th of the 5 Georgia defenders. They take him number 1 overall. So they're just
I like what Mel Kiper described one of the linemen that went in the top 10, the offensive lineman. He was like, this guy's got the lowest floor on the board. And I like that. Or I mean the highest floor on the board. Because that means he ain't gonna get worse than this. He is this good at least. And no one's there yet. I like that.
How about Trayvon Walker? Here's my comp. You ready? Jadeveon Clowney.
If he's Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, you said he's going to be a 10-year player. What I'm saying is Jadeveon Clowney had he was drafted number 1 overall, as I recall. He's kind of bounced around the league. He hasn't stuck in one place. Like when you're a first overall pick, you should spend 10 years of your career.
He couldn't dominate next to JJ Watt.
Yeah.
Walker was boosted because of his workouts, where I would argue that Clowney was boosted because of the one play he made.
One hit.
That's it.
One hit. But he also had the body. That's what I'm saying. He has this crazy body, Aiden Hutchinson at 2 to Detroit, which is kind of an interesting story. Michigan kid stays home.
Sucks for him.
Yeah, Derek Stingley. Derek Stingley's the kid that went the wrong way in the draft. I think he's the guy that went the wrong direction. I think it was him. Ahmad Gardner.
Sauce.
Did you guys see the necklace?
I like 3 and 4. I like both those picks.
Did you see the necklace he was wearing?
It was fantastic.
His nickname is Sauce. He's got this diamond studded sauce bottle on his chain as I was like, dude, that's the dopest, coolest, funniest thing I've ever seen out of one of these kids. I love it.
Save your money, son. Save your money.
No. Because this is someone made this observation too. Is there a better place to be drafted in the world and get life-changing money than Las Vegas?
I know, right?
You know what I mean? You weren't stuck in Kansas City for the night. You are in Vegas, and you just became a multi-millionaire as the number 4 pick. Bro, you get that chain. and you take that chain and you go do some bottle service and you have yourself a night, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. You pour that sauce, dog.
Oh yeah,
You
dog.
pour that sauce.
Oh yeah.
All
I
right.
had no problem with a guy. Listen, if he's doing it every day, that's a thing. But to get yourself a dope ass chain that says sauce on it and then go clubbing in Vegas, all in.
Yep, it's cool. I see. I liked what the Giants did at 5 with this Kayvon Thibodeau.
I did too. I thought he failed, but I did too.
Really good pass rusher from Oregon. At 6, Carolina took this offensive lineman from North Carolina State, who a lot of people thought might be the first overall pick. So that seemed like a good pick for them. And then offensive lineman from Bama to the Giants. So the Giants got an edge rusher and an offensive lineman. And I always love when I like big schools. I like big schools, big programs, big conferences, and guys who play, on winning teams.
Not the Giants finally realized, like, if the quarterback ain't that great, let's just not get it. Daniel Jones, Paxton Lynch, like these guys exist in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Stop reaching.
Yeah.
This was probably the first year. I mean, I felt bad for Malik Willis, but this is probably the first year where
Vikings were gonna take him.
Yeah. That everybody was like, well, we don't know about these quarterbacks.
Right.
And no one reached for him.
You guys remember the 2011 draft? And I do specifically because it's the Vikings. 2011, Jake Locker and Christian Ponder were top 10 picks.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And that's what I thought we were kind of going for. I thought we were going to head towards that area again. And NFL teams were like, you know what? No.
Yeah. Well, since you guys are mentioning it, I mean, listen, I'm kind of just looking at the first round and some highlights. Drake London, the kid from USC, the receiver, went to Atlanta. I'm just looking at some of these. I mean, listen, now you talk about how hard it might be to evaluate guys. When you got 2 wide receivers on the same Ohio State team, they go 10 and 11. Shout out to Chris Olave and shout out to the Mission Hills high school football program. My son and I were having this conversation yesterday. He's like, Dad, did you just see Olave? I go, yeah. 4 years ago, there's Torrey Pines High. There's Mission Hills High. We got a 10-point lead. They got a quarterback that's going to Utah. They got a receiver that's going to Ohio State. Bang, bang, bang. And they wind up winning the game.
Yeah. Number 27 was from Otay.
Oh, really?
Devin Lloyd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that. But I'm looking at these highlights of the draft, and I'll tell you, when it gets to 20, and I want to talk about this. Kenny Pickett getting drafted by the Steelers. You talk about a story of the draft. Way, way, way back in the old days, in 1983, which was considered the greatest quarterback draft ever, the Dan Marino, John Elway, Jim Kelly. I'm trying to think of who the other 2 guys were.
Billy Ray.
Billy Ray was number 5, but I'm thinking about the quarterbacks, and I should know this. But anyway, the thing is that year the Steelers could have taken Dan Marino, and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
The Steelers could have had Dan Marino, and the Steelers could have had a Hall of Fame quarterback for 15 years. They didn't take him. There were rumors of drugs, whatever. They take this kid, Kenny Pickett. The Pitt Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers not only share a stadium, they share a workout facility. So Kenny Pickett's been walking into the same building for the last 4 or 5 years. He gets to stay home. And yeah, they went out and got Mitch Trubisky, who looked good as a backup for Buffalo. And maybe this kid's not ready to start immediately. Maybe he is. But to stay home, to be a legend at your school, where you've won an ACC championship, you've had some of the biggest wins in, all these years, and to now stay home for college, or from college to the pros, walk into the same building, see your old teammates from last year, see your old coaches from last year. Now you're the Steelers quarterback. I thought it was really cool. And to see Mike Tomlin on the phone, because there were a lot of rumors.
Happy.
Yeah, there were a lot of rumors about Mike Tomlin and the kid you mentioned from Liberty. What's his name? Malik
Willis.
There was all these comments. Oh, they were together. They were hanging out together. Kenny Pickett, congratulations to you and your family, man. This is Mike Tomlin. You're about to become a Pittsburgh Steeler. You ready to stay home? It was cool.
This is what I didn't like about the Kenny Pickett selection.
Mm-hmm.
It felt too much like a story. It felt too much like Aiden Hutchinson going number 2, University of Michigan, the Detroit Lions. Like that felt like a story, but that felt more accurate because he is actually a high-level player. I just felt like the Pickett selection it felt more like generated for a story to tell than it did for a actual pick to be productive at the NFL level.
I hear you. I hear why you're saying it, but I'll just say this. They don't have a quarterback, and he was the best quarterback in the draft, and it is a good story. And when they drafted James Conner a couple years ago, that became the number one.
That felt like a story.
It was, and make no mistake, it was.
They have Mitch Trubisky.
Listen, I think if Mitch Trubisky can't beat this kid, because I don't think Kenny Pickett's good. I think he'll be a good backup. If Mitch Trubisky can't beat him, oh boy.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to hit this break, Alex.
Okay.
And I know you're not following the clock today because you're up in Oxnard. Let me get us out of here, and then we'll come right back. We'll finish up our thoughts and we'll get into some, set up the weekend for the Padres and some other stuff we want to get to. Hey, listen, before we hit this break, just a quick reminder: if you're thinking about a brand new car this weekend, a lot of people go shopping for cars on the weekends. Mazda of Escondido, MazdaofEscondido.com. Ask for Alan. He's the general manager. He'll take really good care of you. Tell him you're a great friend, you're a listener, you're a viewer, whatever. And just start taking a look, because now I'm serious about looking at this Mazda all-electric vehicle, the MX-30. So a lot of dealers, I don't really understand. I know it's a lot of supply chain related issues, but a lot of dealers can't get new cars. They have no inventory. There's full inventory going on at Mazda of Escondido. Mazda of Escondido, MazdaofEscondido.com. Ask for Alan, the general manager. Okay, hey guys, coming up, let's give our final thoughts here on the opening round of the NFL draft, and let's kind of start setting up the weekend for the Padres and the rest of baseball. Stick around, everybody. This is Kaplan and crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
I say we get rid of it.
We? I was the one who went and got it.
What if he finds out we opened it?
If your crazy neighbor cared, he wouldn't have thrown it away, right?
This is bad. This is bad. This is bad, what we're doing.
I wonder if this was Grandma's. Today was my first day at Lockwood Hat.
Nobody wants you here.
This white boy kept staring at me.
I'm James.
Why are you talking to me?
This is not like any other relationship. One slip and we're done for.
What I care about is this family's reputation.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
Hanging out at the beach? What a lifestyle. And you could be here every day if you entered the San Diego Giving Back Raffle, a benefit for Ronald McDonald House Charities of San Diego.
Grand prize is this multi-million-dollar home 1 block from the ocean. Or you can win a sports car, a dream vacation, or cash. Everyone is guaranteed to win a fabulous prize. The Giving Back Raffle helps families in need, like the Uggan family.
Visit sdraffle.com to learn more.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on Your View.
Watch the Austin Gilronis take on your San Diego Legion, Thursday, May 28th at 5 p.m. on Your View.
This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
All right, great friends. It's Friday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew. It's Friday, April 29th. And along with Grande and the Brown Man, we come to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Now, tomorrow night, I just want everybody to consider this. I don't know what you got planned tomorrow night, but I know a lot of great friends are coming. Tomorrow night, Browner and Lawhead comedy show happening at the Grand Comedy Club in Escondido. I know I was talking about getting there earlier at like 7:30 in the early evening. I don't think I'm going to make it that early. And, Lawhead reminded me that the food at the Grand Comedy Club is really good when he was on the air the other day. And I always do the same freaking thing. I always wind up going up there. I wind up walking Grand Avenue. I wind up stopping and having dinner somewhere. And then I sit down at Grand Comedy Club and I go, why did I eat? Looks like they got great pizza here. I'm not eating before I get there. I'm going to have like pizza and whatever, beer, whatever. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Maybe a little vodka, cran, perhaps. I'm more of a vodka soda guy.
Vodka soda with a splash of cran?
No, just a lime. Yeah, just a lime.
Got it.
So I want to just say tomorrow evening, we'll be there. We'll catch up to everybody there. It'll be a great time. Browner's on, then Lawhead's on, and Lawhead's got another comic that he's bringing down from LA that's going to be really great. So come on out. It's 2 shows, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Browner, are you feeling good, man? You feeling prepared?
When you say feeling prepared, what do you mean?
I mean, like, do you feel like you're going to be able to go on stage in a comedy show at a comedy club, where you're ready to go, man?
I will say this. I'm more strategically prepared this time than last time. I have a better strategy this time than just kind of
prepared to have people closer than 10 feet from you. I'm assuming there's no dance floor in front of you guys this time.
I'm prepared for anything. I put it like that because I could listen. If they told me, okay, here's a box, stand on the box, tell the jokes on top of this box. I'm prepared to do anything.
You've practiced standing on boxes, telling jokes. Is that right?
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm prepared to tell the jokes.
It's an exaggeration.
Oh.
Yeah. The jokes.
Sarcasm.
I don't want to do the jokes virtually, but they would probably bomb if I did them virtually. But
you got jokes now. You've actually got jokes.
Dude. I have probably 7 minutes worth of actual jokes, which I laugh now just thinking that I have 7 minutes of jokes.
How long are you going for?
They work.
Yeah, how long are you to be up for?
Till they tell me to move.
Yeah. No, but
you got the first show. You're gonna be on time. You have to. They're gonna tell you, hey, you got 15 minutes.
Right. So
you got a timer in your head, or what? Like, how does that work?
Well, they give you a red light.
They put a red light on in the back.
Yeah.
So the best part is the jokes can be stopped at any time because I have an out for every joke. Right. So when the light comes on, I'll give myself 15 minutes or 15 seconds to finish the joke, and then that'll be that.
All right.
So I'm prepared.
You think you're going to do 7 minutes of jokes and then figure out what to do from there? Or you think you're going to be like joke, play with the audience, joke, play with the audience?
Yeah. Joke, fun, joke, fun, joke,
The jokes aren't fun? The jokes actually are not fun, huh?
We'll find out. We'll find out. I don't know. Like I said,
that attitude because you don't know.
I'm not in charge of what's funny. The audience will tell me what's funny. It's up to me to ride the wave of what they think is funny until it's time for me to get off the stage. I don't go in thinking this one's gonna kill. I don't know these people.
Brothers going surfing, huh?
Yeah, surfing USA.
Hells to the yeah. All right, cool. Well, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And as just a quick reminder, I've told you guys a bunch already, but I'm going to be at I Thrive MD tomorrow. I'm going to be there from 12 to 2. They're serving mimosas. 858-240-1497. 858-240-1497.
Down there.
You know what's so funny is like a Lori Benson is tuning in this afternoon up in La Costa, and she's like, "Wait, did you say they're serving mimosas?" Yes, Lori, they're serving mimosas. Don, come on down. I'm going to get
They're injecting mimosas into your veins.
Well, I don't know if it's that way, but it might. Well, maybe. I'm going to get the immune boost.
They might have a bag for that.
All right, I'm going to get the weight loss boost, and I'm going to get the energy boost. That's what I'm going to do. I Thrive MD, 858-240-1497, 12 to 2 tomorrow afternoon. Use the promo code Browner. You'll save 40%. So call and make an appointment. There's a 2-hour window. It's Saturday afternoon. I'm not like trying to jam it in on a Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock. This is Saturday afternoon, 2 hours. Bring your wife, by the way, guys, because again, they're serving mimosas. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be nice. So gonna have a great weekend. All right, back to the NFL draft, if we could. So we were going through the first round, and everybody kind of has something that they liked about it. I stopped on pick 20 because, listen, for me, as someone who, I'm passionate about my school, Pitt football, and that's not my school, that's my team. And Kenny Pickett had a great career, and he gets drafted number 20 by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I thought it was a really great moment. Browner, you think it's more about the Steelers creating a story rather than the Steelers drafting a player who can help them. I only disagree for this reason. It is a great story, but you don't draft a guy in the first round and pay him millions of dollars because it's just a nice story.
Especially the quarterback position.
Especially if he's not going to play.
Here's a discussion based on this. At 20, I think if Kenny Pickett was better, they would have traded up to get him. The fact that
nobody in front of them was like but they all know. They're like, wait a second, is Houston going to take him? Well, no. We don't think so. Is San Diego going to take him? We don't think so. Is Tennessee going to take him?
You did it.
Yeah, I did it on purpose. Is New Orleans going to take him?
Look, but I feel like I feel as if Pittsburgh was probably comfortable with one of the two. And they knew that if the Giants didn't do it, if the Panthers didn't do it, I don't think anybody else was going to do it in the first round.
Right.
I just felt like if Kenny Pickett was more attractive from a wholesale point, more teams would have been after him.
I mean, he wasn't on Joe Burrow's level. He wasn't on even Tua's level. He wasn't on that level of quarterback. It's just that simple.
Right. He's not on Justin Herbert's level. He's not on Patrick Mahomes' level. He's not on any of those guys' level as a college football player.
He's Mac Jones. To me, at the NFL level, he'll be Mac Jones. He can be productive if you surround him with a good running game, a solid offensive line, and some good wide receivers.
Which is what the Pittsburgh Steelers have.
Yeah. Yeah, but in that case,
I don't even know who Mac Jones is. Seriously, like you're telling me a name. No, really.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm being serious.
Patriots quarterback?
Oh gosh, are you saying Matt or Mac?
Mac Jones.
Okay, listen, who?
Mac Jones. Who?
Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Mac.
Jones. You confused me, man. All right, keep
going.
The
Jaguars did have that Matt Jones guy that was a quarterback that went to receiver. I think that's what he did.
So listen, but Mac Jones is a guy who will be successful in the NFL because of the system that he's in. And I actually think Kenny Pickett has he's nowhere near what a guy like I'm trying to think of an example of he doesn't have the
you know what he is?
Tell me.
Sam Bradford.
Oh, I hope not.
Why?
Sam Bradford.
Serviceable.
No thanks.
Has the all-time completion percentage in a single season.
I'll pass.
Listen, me too. That's kind of my point. I just think that's what you got this round.
I think Malik Willis will be better. I think Malik Willis will be better. I think there'll be less pressure.
Play a single snap. So
I don't know. I mean, Browner, really? You spent a lot of time studying Liberty football? Really?
Same thing as Trey Lance. I don't know. What I've seen so far, no.
I think Malik Willis will be better. There'll be far less pressure on him to perform.
What if Malik Willis goes to Detroit?
If Malik Willis goes to Detroit, there'll be zero pressure on him to perform because Jared Goff is supposed to be the starter. And if he gets wishy-washy again, you'll put this kid in who's more of an athlete than he is a quarterback, and you'll see what you can get out of that.
I would say that with Kenny
Pickett is a little hand quarterback.
That's true.
Wait a second. So little hands.
That's what it comes down to.
Little hands. So you're about to tell me that you did all this research on the hands and you saw all the measurements and you compared them to everybody, and his hand size, really, that's what you're hanging your hat on this?
Deflated footballs.
at the next level, everything matters. Everything matters, Scott. I really feel like you're more for this. You know what?
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett gonna be a bust. I'm gonna stop playing.
There it is, Joe Rigby. There it is, Joe Rigby.
I'm gonna stop playing with you.
There it
dog.
is, Joe Rigby.
I was trying to be. I was trying to be nice.
There. You were crawling there. You were crawling there. You were going slower and slower.
Yeah.
I was trying to respect. I was trying to respect the Pitt hood. I was trying to respect Pitt, but he brought this out of me.
All right, look. Let me tell you this: when Josh Allen was drafted, say again, Alex.
I kind of agree with Browner on that one.
By the way, I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't kind of agree with Browner.
It's not his fault that he was the best quarterback available, and it just so happened that it happened to be. If Kenny Pickett came out last year, he wouldn't have been the number 1 pick.
No,
even a third-round pick.
Well, if he was lucky, a year ago he would have been a third-round pick, because by going back to college this year, and by having a monster season,
skipping the Peach Bowl and not getting hurt,
winning the ACC championship, having this incredibly productive season that brought him all these individual accolades. Then, by the way, showing off, he's got speed, he's got movement, he's got arm strength. He performed well in the workouts. He was the best quarterback of the class, but this was not a strong class. I wish I didn't agree with you, Brown. I wish I was arguing the other side, saying this guy's going to be a star. This guy got everything that it takes. His little hands don't mean anything to me. But I don't project him to be a monster star quarterback in the NFL. Look, Josh Allen, when he was at Wyoming, none of us really knew much. And I say none of us, we saw a little bit of him because Wyoming played San Diego State, but nobody knew who Josh Allen was. Nobody knew that Josh Allen was going to turn into probably the second best quarterback in the AFC.
Josh Allen showed signs that Kenny Pickett doesn't, though. Incredible arm, probably the best in the NFL. Size, speed, toughness. He's developed accuracy. That's what he's developed so far in his time at Buffalo. But to me, Kenny Pickett doesn't have a monster arm. He doesn't have incredible tangibles, as they like to say in the draft. He just doesn't pop out on a sheet that like Josh Allen did. At least Josh Allen's like 6'6", 230 pounds, can throw the ball out of the stadium. Like that's the kind of stuff that he showed, even though we didn't know who he was. Yeah. Kenny Pickett reminds me, and this is not a joke just because they're now teammates, he is Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay. Well, where he's not Mitchell Trubisky, though, where he's not is that he's played so many games in college. And he's got so much more experience. And again, by coming back last year, listen, here's what I'm going to say. I wish I disagreed with Browner. As I watched him, because I watched almost every Pitt football game, I didn't think he was as great as the hype. There became a wave of hype around him because
he was the chosen one.
Right. Look, people loved it. He came back for like a sixth year. Pitt was having a really nice season. They were on TV a lot. He look, but again, I didn't know that much about Josh Allen when he was at Wyoming. I'll tell you this right now. I didn't know anything about Justin Herbert when he was at Oregon. And I'll tell you that if I were going to try and compare him to somebody, I'd say this. He's about a 75% guy compared to Herbert. Does that make sense?
He is three-quarters of what Justin Herbert is?
Yeah.
No way.
Man, I feel like Justin Herbert's really taken himself to a level.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's if I were going to say, if you could become one guy, like you have the same kind of body, you have the same kind of athleticism, the same sort of movement, throwing on the run, experience, etc. Like I'd be looking at Justin Herbert and saying, that's the guy you want to try and become. But I really don't think he can. I don't think he's that kind of player. And that's that's why you're drafted 20.
What if he's Carson Wentz?
If he's Carson Wentz, fantastic for him because he'll have one good year. It'll look fantastic. Yeah. And then he'll be terrible after that.
We've also, in my opinion, buried the lead 6 feet deep here of what happened in the NFL draft.
Yeah. We got off on a tangent. Go ahead, Alex.
The reason why I think this draft was one of the most dramatic drafts of all time is not who was getting picked and how fast it was coming and all that. It was what happened with current players. Like, are you guys just not impressed by what the Philadelphia Eagles did yesterday with AJ Brown?
Dude,
because AJ Brown,
yeah.
A.J. Brown, I don't know where he's at as far as rankings go, but that man, when healthy, is one of the best wide receivers in the league.
Keyword.
It's just 1 year last year. That's it. And he still had a decent year. He's like 900 yards last year. With Ryan Tannehill throwing to him, by the way. With Ryan Tannehill throwing to him.
When healthy. I get it was 1 year. I get it was last year. When healthy, he's a beast. I'm with you. He's a beast.
I just think that the Eagles have swung and missed so often on wide receivers in the first round, second round, the draft. They're like, screw this, man. We'll just go get one that's good already. And when you pair him and Smith from Alabama, who they already have, and that tight end Goddard, I think the Eagles, there's no more excuse for Jalen Hurts. You got to be good now, dude. I know you made the playoffs last year, but you got to be better than what you've been.
How about the way that they did this deal, though? You know, the way they made this trade during the draft and had him signed with this new 4-year, $100 million contract.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not suggesting to you that it was happening in real time. I mean, obviously this stuff, you know, there's got to be conversations going on before all of this.
Yeah.
But man, that did happen kind of quickly. So what are some of the...
I thought that was just so impressive by the Eagles, because when you can go get an established guy, like, stop swinging and missing in the first round where you're going to have to put significant amount of money in a first rounder. Yeah, it's $100 million, but really it's $57 million to get A.J. Brown for 4 years. That's...
Yes. I'll pass.
I would never pass. I think A.J. Brown is legit.
Great.
Legit. And the Eagles, shout out to them. And then, right at the same time this happened, the Ravens, out of nowhere, traded their best wide receiver to the Cardinals. And now Lamr Jackson's pissed off.
Yeah, Lamr Jackson was sending out some tweets, right?
Yeah. Two tweets in particular. One, that said WTF. That's it.
Like, what's my team doing?
Yeah. What the F? Why did you trade Hollywood Brown? Who, by the way, Butterfingers, like, incredible Butterfingers. The guy's fast as hell, but really tough time catching the ball. And I guess they were like best friends. And that's why he's all pissed off. And then Hollywood, he was at the draft somehow yesterday already with a Cardinals hat.
You know why he was there.
Like, what the hell's going on?
Lamr Jackson's tweet, WTF.
And then Hollywood Brown does a press conference. I don't know if you have this video, Bronner, with the Arizona media.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I've been telling Lamr Jackson I want to trade for the past 2 years.
No way.
Like, we hadn't heard it, this offseason. So you specifically asked the Ravens for a trade.
Yeah, I asked them for a trade after the season. It was just some, like, my happiness. I mean, I talked to Lamar about it, after my second year. And, then after my third year leading up to the end of the season, he wasn't playing. I let him know again, like, yeah, bro, I can't do it. And, it's not really on Lamar. Like, I love Lamar. It was just, it's just the system wasn't for me personally. I love all my teammates. I love the guys. But it was just, something I had to think about for myself. And, the Ravens, we both handled it the right way. I didn't go out and make anything public. I just kept it in-house, kept working. And, it all worked out.
So I don't know what Lamar's tweeting WTF about if this guy's been telling him for 2 years. I want out, bro. But here's what's
I can't
crazy.
do it, man. It's my happiness.
This is what, to me, what was so insane. So you had, I have the list here. You had, in a span of like an hour, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jameson Williams all get drafted. A.J. Brown and Hollywood both get traded. So like, this is the wide receiver draft. This is it. And then you got at the same time, the man who's desperate for a new wide receiver is on Pat McAfee's show begging for one.
Yeah, right.
And the Packers draft 2 defenders. In the first round.
It was a little surprising with Devontae. Obviously, when I made my decision, I was still thinking he was going to come back. I was very honest with him about my plans and my future and where I saw my career going as far as how many years I wanted to play. But I felt like, he was going to be back. Didn't obviously turn out that way, but I have so much.
Yeah.
On, And later on, he said, I thought the money we offered and playing with me.
Yes, right. That's how he said it. Right. He didn't say, I thought us playing together would be a really great thing. He said, I thought the money we offered him and the opportunity to play with me
Guess not.
Yeah.
Guess he wanted to go.
Man,
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
Wanted to play with his friend.
Dude, watching that whole interview, because they drafted some linemen, and he's just like, you could see it in his face.
One of the Georgia kids,
He's
didn't
saying one thing, he's
Mhm.
saying one thing,
Mhm.
and then he's visually saying another. It was just like, to me, listen, maybe it's because I was stuck in traffic and anything would have entertained me at that point. I thought it was such an entertaining, especially right there in the middle, dude. When the receivers started getting taken, I was so entertained by the draft yesterday for the first time in a really long time. I bail on the draft as soon as the Vikings pick, which is normally high. So,
well, let me just say this real quick before we hit this break, and we'll talk about a bunch of other stuff still to come, because there was a moment in the draft where Austin Eckler hit the stage. I want to talk about that for a second. Just a quick reminder to everybody, if you're thinking about anything in real estate this weekend, if you need some advice, if you want to go see some open houses, call our man Gary Cooper, 858-376-1299, 858-376-1299. You're looking to finance a house, refinance your current house. You're going to try and buy a house, but you don't have the money for it right now, but you're going to have to sell your house. Maybe there's a bridge loan, because Gary was talking about that earlier in the week. Lots of different options for you. Talk to him, 858-376-1299. It's Gary Cooper, 858-376-1299. Lots more to get to still from the draft. We haven't even talked any baseball yet, and we're setting you up for the weekend. This is Kaplan and crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
You're listening to the 50,000-watt powerhouse, bringing you the new generation of radio up and down all of California with a little bit of attitude. This is SoCal Sports Talk, the all-new and mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
So I became a dentist because I just love science and I love art. I have a music background, so I wanted to do something that I can use the hand dexterity that I've developed, through my musical training. We've had a practice in San Diego for 25 years. It's called the Super Dentist. For over 2 decades, I've had parents ask me the same questions on a daily basis. And so I decided to put all of this information in one place. I wrote a book. Title of it is If Your Mouth Could Talk. Because if your mouth could talk, it would tell you about the condition of your entire life. Right now, the oral care marketplace is a mess. And so we decided to launch a new company called Supermouth, which is a subscription model of oral care. And so we want to be proactively educating parents, providing the tools and the oral care products to make sure they can raise healthier, happier, more successful kids. The education piece is a key piece in our company, because if you're educated as a parent, you're going to do the right things. People can find my book, If Your Mouth Could Talk, themouthbook.com, and purchase the book there, and also get some special gifts to go along with the book.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season continues. Live on Your View and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal host the Colorado Springs Switchbacks Saturday, May 14th at 7 p.m. Come join us at Torero Stadium and support the San Diego Loyal as they continue their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Tickets are available. San Diego Loyal versus the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, Saturday, May 14th on Your View.
Join Jane Klaus on Creative Living as she shares fun and inspiring ideas for enriching your life.
I'm Jane Klaus, and on the next Creative Living, we're saving you money in your daily life. Easy steps to put cash back in your pocket. And we explore if buying an electric car is worth the cost.
Watch Creative Living, Sunday night at 8:30 on Your View and YourView.com.
Creative Living. Imagine what you can do.
San Diego Legion Rugby is back, celebrating its 5th season of professional rugby in San Diego. Fun, excitement, entertainment. Just like all the sports you know, only better. San Diego Legion tickets are on sale now. Get yours today.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com.
Kaplan and Crew tonight presents Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, this is Pete Gray with this week's Fish Report, and a lot of wind still, but we're hoping for a break here for the next couple of weeks, and maybe May will be a much better windy weather. But the fish are still biting. The bluefin tuna fishing, absolutely amazing. Most of it is at night, between the wee hours, but mostly on flatfall jigs, but unbelievable fishing for 20 to 100 pound bluefin tuna down about 40 miles below the border. White sea bass, there's a lot of white sea bass around. They're being caught. Guys are getting to the islands. San Clemente Island's been fantastic when you can get squid for bait, and the white sea bass and the big yellowtails have been biting too. And Eastern Sierra trout season starts tomorrow. That's a big day, a great time. And this weekend on Let's Talk Hookup, we'll have that information and a lot more. So tune in on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Mightier 1090. A lot of good fishing information to have for you this weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Let's Talk Hookup airs on the Mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific, every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
All right, guys, you're only going to see this on Your View. This isn't for radio on 1090. This isn't for YouTube. This isn't for any of the audio podcast platforms. This is just for you guys that are watching on Cox Your View. The head coach of the San Diego Loyal, Landon Donovan, is jumping into Kaplan and Crew. Coach, how we doing, man?
What's going on, guys?
It is really great to see you. How's things going?
We're about a quarter of the way through the year. So not quite on the crazy grind yet, but rounding into form. So it's a good time of year.
You know, I've only been to one game so far, but my son's coming home from college for the summer. My daughter's coming home from college for the summer. We're going to start coming to a bunch of games. The one game I was at, the first game of the season, man, jam-packed crowd and exciting. Oh, my God, what a finish at the end. So, I mean, at least the one game I've been to so far, loved it. It was awesome. How's things going with the home crowd in particular?
Yeah, well, you had the best seat in the house, Scott, right behind the goal where we scored.
Right.
It looked like you guys maybe had a few adult beverages that night. It was that was a good night, but we have a pretty special atmosphere at our games. We don't have the numbers that Padres do or the Chargers once had, but the atmosphere, I think, is pretty special and unique, I think you would say, having been to a lot of sporting events. So we're very lucky. We get that at Torero. The stadium is really suited to creating an amazing atmosphere, and I think you saw it that night.
Sure did. No doubt about it. How's it going for you? I mean, I always think about it from your perspective, like you didn't need to be coaching soccer. You were passionate about bringing professional soccer to San Diego, but you have little kids. You had a great career. You were enjoying retirement. How's it going for you?
Well, Scott, you know, once you have little kids, you got to find something to get out of the house. So it was mostly down to that. I love what I do every day. There are very few people, I think, in life, maybe you are one of the exceptions to, who get to do something they love. It doesn't mean it's not without challenges and difficulties at times, but I just love getting to come every day here and have a positive impact, hopefully, on a lot of young men's lives. So it's really enjoyable for me.
Hey, Landon, recently you guys got to go up and take on MLS's LA Galaxy. And I know the result wasn't what you wanted, but the performance wasn't bad. I mean, it was only 1-0. You take that result and you tell your team, like, look, we can compete with one of the best teams in MLS, and you take that going forward.
Yeah, I think what people don't realize about our league is how good it is. And until you come to a game, you see it in person, or you come to training and watch it, or you watch a game like against the LA Galaxy, you don't realize how good the players are. The difference is the Galaxy can spend millions and millions of dollars to get special players that we don't have. So soccer is unique in that there's 11 players on the field and scoring a goal is very difficult. In basketball, you have a guy like LeBron. That player can literally take over the game. But in soccer, you don't have that except for a certain few, Messi, Neymar, a few around the world. And so that's the ultimate equalizer. And our league is very good and very competitive in that way. And you saw actually a number of teams in our league actually beat MLS teams in that US Open Cup where we played the Galaxy. So you can tell the levels are much more similar than people realize.
Wow.
You guys are bringing such a different energy. Like you said, your fan base and how passionate you guys are about, the fans are about the sport and the game. How are you continuing to give back to those fans? I mean, obviously you guys are playing teams like the Galaxy. What other surprises or what are some of the things you guys are cooking up to kind of give the fans like a thank you?
Well, this sport is pretty unique, guys, in that historically the way soccer started was literally communities just starting a soccer club. And so that makes it really unique. In our country, we're used to baseball, basketball, football, hockey, where an owner, a wealthy owner comes in and starts the team, and then it trickles down from there. But soccer is truly the fans' game. So the fans in the community are just as invested as an owner or a coach or a player. And so that's why when you go to Torero and you see that energy, that's the feeling you're getting. It's a little different than going to other sporting events. But for us, from the beginning, our chairman and owner, Andrew Vasiliadis, he grew up in Point Loma. His family has donated tens of millions of dollars to multiple causes throughout the community, to Rady Children's, to education, to multiple things. And Andrew's first ever meeting with us, he made it very clear that he wanted this to be more than just a soccer team. He wanted us to become an institution like the Padres have been, like the Chargers were at one point, like Rady Children's Hospital, etc. So we want to be a part of the community in a real way, and it's important for us to live that every day. So we do lots of things that try to benefit the community in a positive way. We had a Rady patient out here yesterday, ironically named Landon, told him it was a great name, who was out here enjoying practice, meeting our guys. And that's one small way, but we're fortunate to have a group of guys who like to do that and have really felt loved by this community, and it's reciprocal too.
Well, Landon, we're all going to be watching these games on Cox Yorview, and I know I will see you out there this summer. I'm looking forward to getting out to more of these games. Thank you very much for stopping by and for doing this Cox Yorview exclusive with us here on Kaplan and Crew. We'll see you out there, man.
My pleasure, guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, Coach. Take care.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company. You need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Hollander Dental is unique because we have been serving the Carlsbad community for over 25 years. We have a very spacious office with ample parking and state-of-the-art technology. The office has been newly renovated, so all the equipment and facility is brand new. Any patient visiting Hollander Dental can expect to be taken care of at every step of their visit.
With care and love and support. So when we're going through tough times, as dental work is and can be, they make it easy for us as patients.
Investing in your smile and your overall dental health in the long run will help you save money by preventing other medical conditions.
I would absolutely recommend Hollander Dental.
I do recommend Hollander Dental to anyone I know who needs something done.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on Your View, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. And visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 a.m. ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.